Hello.
Yes, hello.
So we see that our guest speaker is online, Mr. Irakli Kandashvili. Salome, can you introduce our guest?
Yes, of course. I would like to introduce the chairman of the newly established Association of Mediators in Georgia, Mr. Irakli Kandashvili. Mr. Irakli, thank you first of all for your involvement. I would like to say that he will present the activities and the future plans of the association. Mr. Irakli is very professional in his field, and I sincerely believe that our cooperation will be very successful. So, Mr. Irakli, please introduce the association to our partners.
Greetings. Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to be with you today. I'm very happy to see everybody healthy. Let me thank Ilia State University for an opportunity and possibility to join you today and have a chance to introduce the newly established Mediators Association of Georgia to each of you. On behalf of Georgian mediators, let me convey the best regards from sunny Georgia to each of you and wish you luck. As per Salome already announced, in Georgia, mediation is a novelty, and according to the newly established law that was enacted in January 1st, 2020, we have a law on mediators and mediation as such. It's called law on mediation. According to the regulation prescribed in the law, Mediators Association of Georgia is founded. This is a legal entity of public law. Let me underline it firstly. This is legal entity of public law, and this is an umbrella organization of all licensed mediators in Georgia. Association's main function is to manage the profession, develop the mediation, establish the mediation development policy in Georgia, as well as coordinate two forms of mediation that is per law at this stage proposed to the beneficiaries and users. One direction of mediation is court-annexed mediation, and the second newly established direction of mediation is private mediation. As our organization is newly established, I should tell you that we are uniting at this stage approximately 60 mediators in Georgia, and according to the law, we have obligations to propose to the future mediators the stages and procedure how they can enter into the profession. At this stage, we already prescribed the regulations of entrance into profession as a certification program of mediators based in the with collaboration of European Union, UNDP program in Georgia, as well as Council of Europe. Mediation at this stage in Georgia is highly supported by international society. We have very close collaboration and communication with represented US Embassy, European Union programs. And at the same stage, I'm very honored to have very close relation with universities in the country, and our collaboration with Ilia State University is at hand and represented by my involvement today, as well as we consider at this stage that mediation needs a systematic and proper approach to spread it in this country, to develop it in this country. This is novelty. This is an alternative dispute mechanism, as you already know. And according to the European Association Agreement, this was a mandatory one of the directions as a regulation to be received, and Georgia did it. But now it's very important, and it's a challenge in Georgia to raise knowledge about mediation in this country. Approximately as per sociological statistics and research, approximately 20% of society is aware of mediation. That's why it's very important to develop both forms of mediation in country, court-annexed mediation as well as private mediation, and we consider it as a good form of spreading knowledge about mediation using our partnership with universities to integrate mediation as a mandatory subject for future professionals to study at the universities. Moreover, we are working very closely with the Ministry of Education to introduce as a subject for high school pupils at schools from 2021. At the same time, we have very close collaboration with the court system in this country, as well as the Bar Association. These are the two main partners and supporters of mediation. Based on your experience in your own countries, I guess that you will agree that if the profession of lawyers and profession of judges will not be supportive of the mediation, this will not develop. And I'm very happy to see and observe in the current Georgian realities that both main stakeholders of judiciary, including court system, as well as the professional association of lawyers, Bar Association, that is a unified bar in this country, are both supporters and involved in the further development of mediation. We have many plans, many goals to reach, and we are very open to collaboration internationally. We have established already some communication and relations with neighboring countries, as well as West European direction, as well as we have some communications with the United States, some partner organizations, and I want hereby to state and underline that we are very open to, in case of chances and consideration of possibility of joint projects and collaboration, we are very open, and I'm looking forward to further such possibilities and challenges and abilities from your sides. And I do hope that we jointly, it's very important at this stage, knowing that you are representing countries neighboring Georgia, as this is as well novelty in your countries, as I do know, and it's very important to have a chance of exchange of our experience, and we are ready to share any experience we are gaining or already gained, as well as have a chance to observe and study experience of development of mediation in your countries. Therefore, hands for friendship are raised, and I do hope that it will be shaped one time. Therefore, this will be very shortly from my side. I will share my personal email now in a joint chat for your future need in case of such, and I am very open to discuss any questions, subject interest of any of you. Once again, thank you for this ability or possibility to introduce the organization, and in case of any questions, I'm ready to provide my feedback.
Yes, thank you very much for this introduction. I have a question. We have the education within this program for the mediators. We even certify them. So what are the demands of your organization to become a mediator within the register in Georgia?
Perfect question. Thank you. Hereby, as I already told you, I shared my electronic email, and you can see it for future needs. Concerning your question, as per Georgian law on mediation, mediator can be any physical person. There is no limitation based on profession. This is first. Secondly, the person should not be criminally charged. And thirdly, in the law, there is a reference that the legal entity of public law, Mediators Association of Georgia, should establish a mediator certification program, and any interested party should be in compliance with this above mentioned program. Let me tell you what is the program about. According to the law, Mediators Association of Georgia had to establish such a program before the July the 1st of 2020. We had done it on 27th of June. We had a General Assembly, second General Assembly, and we received the mediator certification program that looks like what I will now provide to you. Firstly, first stage is a training program, mandatory training program. Mediators Association of Georgia is receiving, and we already confirmed the teaching syllabi, let me call it like this, like a teaching module, and any interested entity like university or training centers or whoever should, in case of interest of execute this first stage of entrance into profession, and namely training, should apply to us, receive an accreditation from the Mediators Association, and then is receiving a right to execute this training program for interested persons via our accreditation. Afterwards, the second stage is the persons who will go through this training program, so these accredited organizations will apply to the regulator to the Mediators Association of Georgia. And the second stage is so-called simulation evaluation. And namely, regulator Mediators Association will check the skills that the future mediators gained from this training program. And the third mandatory stage for future mediators is to observe practical mediation at court-annexed mediation, and namely, successful participants of the training course and the people who will pass the simulation stage will be under the supervision of the Mediators Association sent to the court, where under the observance of a practical mediator will attend mediation hearings, considerations, and then we'll have a chance to have a discussion over the observed procedure with the mediator, and the mediator then is evaluating and giving a final position about readiness of one or another person to enter into the profession. So these are the three stages that an interested person should go through to become and gain high respected status of mediator in Georgia. I do hope that I fully answered to your below question.
Yes, thank you very much.
I have a question, may I?
Sure, gladly.
Okay, I'm from Azerbaijan. So we have the newly established mediation council in Azerbaijan, which is pretty similar to the Georgian case. And it also offers some intensive trainings. I have a question. Don't you think that your trainings somehow discourage future potential mediators to enroll for the master program? Because like it's kind of like an alternative to be a mediator within the short intensive mediation training. So why to seek for the master program while there is a intensive course?
Thank you, dear Elmar. Let me tell you that I know Azerbaijani system. I have a very close friend in Azerbaijan, Bar Association Chairman, Mr. Bagirov is a close friend of mine. Yes. And I know that Bar Association is as well involved in mediation profession in Azerbaijan. Let me tell you the following. I do not see any kind of discourage or any kind of relation between profession and your question about master programs. Once again, mediation is a profession. It's totally independent profession, like a lawyer's profession. And it has nothing to do with master or bachelor or PhD programs. And namely, any interested person who wants to become a mediator, they have to go to independent profession and satisfy the needs of the profession. It has nothing to do with the master programs. Master programs are totally different, and you can apply to any kind of university master program, go through the master studies, and receive a degree that has nothing to do with the practical profession. And I wish good luck to any future masters in Georgia and in Azerbaijan, and not only. Therefore, training of profession, precondition training is only 60 hours. And I have no concrete information. I don't want to make any kind of mistake. What kind of amount of hours or credits a person to become a master degree holder should go through? You know better. On the other hand, trainings of future mediators is oriented on practical skills, and in universities, I guess there should be some component of theoretical knowledge as well. Therefore, I really don't see any kind of interrelation or any kind of discouraged basis, although you may see it, I do respect it, but this is my opinion. Thank you for the question, dear Elmar.
Thank you very much.
My best regards to Azerbaijani colleagues, lawyers and mediators.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Katie Devada from Batumi State University.
Hello, Katie.
I think the question was that the idea of this project, what we are involved now was and is to bring the mediation or involve the mediation into the higher education institutions in our programs. So firstly, the idea was to create a master program in mediation, but regarding the rules of our educational system, it was not possible. But we are trying somehow to involve or create some kind of educational programs in mediation. For instance, now we are working at Batumi State University to have 60 credit a short-term program in mediation. So it is it will be very good, and it was the idea of the project also. If can we how can we recognize all these credits, or how can students recognize all these credits gained at our universities to your federation or general in Georgia? So it will be I think it's a good discussion to start discussing this direction, that how can we give the education at the universities, and it should be a higher level than maybe the training course, short training course, and also to be all this recognized by the federation.
Thank you, Katie, for this explanation. Once again, as a chairman and the representative of the association and profession currently, I once and again underline there's a high need in Georgia at this stage to promote mediation in universities, and not only, but of course at universities. We are having a lot of communications with universities, and I should tell you that this week we will have a most probably a memorandum of understanding signed with the university rector and University of Batumi. And with all universities, our proposal is, and the request is, to integrate mediation teaching as a level of bachelor, as a mandatory course. And I do hope that many universities will follow this advice. Moreover, I should tell you that currently in Georgia, let me refer to the legal profession, and namely lawyers profession, mediation as a must is integrated in Bar Association professional exam, entrance professional exam. That is a sign and reference to all universities that they should have mandatory courses for future lawyers. Otherwise, they may not be successful because they will be passing bar exam. So this is product and fruits of our collaboration with bar associations. That's how we indirectly are asking universities to think about mandatory integration of teaching mediation in their bachelor degree. And secondly, whatever is your question about how it should be, or should it be at all or not acknowledged by the profession, it's a matter of discussion of further needs, and our doors are always open to listen to such needs and have workshops and finalize the situation. But currently, this is what it is. And future, narrow-wise, what is planned, I propose to you and provide it to you. Always open to any kind of discussions. Thank you, Katie, for this question.
So much.
Maybe I can ask another question, Mr. Kandashvili.
Sure, sir. Listening to you.
I'm the chairman of the register in Holland for the mediators. And after 25 years, we see that all the mediators are now fully professional, or at least most of them. We have about 3,000 mediators, fully professional. And they see that just the basic course on skills is not enough for them. And this is why we now go further. And this is why all the universities come in. For the basics, the mediation is good enough. And this is what we also incorporate in university training. But this master is really making it more professional. So the mediators will be really mediation professionals. So we will have 2 levels of mediators in Holland in the future. People who are fully trained with a complete university training, and people who only have a basic training on skills. And also the courts will only accept the ones who have the full training. So this is our experience at this moment, and this is also the basis of this project.
Thank you, Mr. Zwitten. Glad to hear, and thank you for sharing this experience. And I'm very happy that my opinions and your opinions are exactly same. I do see the need of integration of universities in developing and teaching mediation, and I'm very happy that we, with founding, started thinking and talking about these needs already. When Netherlands maybe a little bit later realized such a need. Therefore, I do hope that we will teach on experiences of our European.
The Dutch people are
colleagues,
always late.
and that's what we are doing. So thank you, Mr. Zweten, for sharing your experience. It's always better to be late rather than never. Therefore, good luck to Netherlands mediation with collaboration of. Okay, if any other comment or question, gladly to be responsive. If not, once again, it was my pleasure to be involved in this online roundtable, and I do ask to be in touch and think jointly about future development of mediation.
Thank you very much for being present.
Thank you, sir.
And we wish you a
And
lot of
thank
luck.
you to Ilia State University. Thank you, Ilia State University,
Thank you
for this opportunity. All the best.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Galina, take over.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Irakli Kandashvili, for very good presentation. And thank you, partners, for questions. Okay, now I think we will ask Ilia State University to continue the presentation of their development in regarding Federation of Mediation.
Yeah, Mr. Dimitri will talk about the planned activities between ISO and the association. So, Mr. Dimitri, please say.
Hello. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Irakli Kandashvili, who is one of the leading voices in mediation, and at the same time, he's the practical mediator and lawyer, very prominent lawyer, and a scholar in the field of mediation. And it was a privilege for me to hear directly from him the first-hand experience in the field of latest developments of mediation. With your permission, I will share just the snapshot of excerpt of the part of Mediation Federation from our project, in order not to lose sight of this the core requirements of the project, and I will briefly update you on the developments as it is right now. So first of all, I would like to once again to ask the partner universities to for their feedback on the second questionnaire that we sent on 5th of May. It's already 2 months, a little bit more, that the questionnaire was sent, but still we haven't received any feedback on it. So I will very much appreciate if you somehow just find time to update on this and to share it.
What kind of question?
The questionnaire regarding the work package 4. So it was already sent, and but we have not received any response yet.
And
so yet.
Okay, so, but then we will send a reminder to all partners also.
Okay, thank you very much for this. So, as for the creation of Mediation Federation, I think that this part, work package 4, is the most arduous and challenging part because of divergences between the legal system and the developments in the legal system and the society. Because when we started, the initial position in all the 3 countries where these mediation federations should have been established were more or less the same. So basically there were no national federations. There were some instances of creating the professional mediators associations in Georgia and other countries as well. But during the process and during the implementation of the process, all this has changed, and now we have the privilege to hear from Mr. Irakli Kandashvili, who is the chairman of the Mediation Federation, and some parts of this Mediation Federation, I think, still need to be scrutinized in order not on the one hand to be in full compliance with the initial aims and goals, and on the other hand to grasp all the latest developments and the needs of these three countries in particular. So what I mean is the creation of the Mediation Federation. In Georgia, we already have the National Mediation Federation. Our legislation just went on the way of regulating the profession. So in order to become a mediator, it is mandatory to pass the exams and to go through the accredited course and to be a member of the one single unit, centralized unit, unitary federation. In other countries, in Ukraine, there were several bills and several draft laws, but I'm not aware of the most latest developments. But still, as far as I'm concerned, I think that the law is still subject and pending in the parliament, and it hasn't been enacted. As regards Azerbaijan, our Azerbaijani colleagues, they also have the new law and this Council of Mediation. We will hear from them more as soon as we have the feedback on our questionnaire. But as it seems right now, the situation in these three countries is different, and this difference means that we need to somehow to share the experiences, and for this purpose, I think that our experience and the brief description and the very short commentary on the law of Georgia, as well as the supporting documentation and internal documents, it will be very helpful to be available to other countries. We are working on this, and the Georgian law is available in English and in Russian as well. We have sent it out to our partner universities, and now I will go through the most important developments that happened after the first round. So as Mr. Irakli Handashvili has already said, and the Georgian Mediation Association is very active in engaging the universities and higher education institutions in promoting the professional mediation. And he already reflected on the figures and the statistics that 20% of our population is aware of the mediation system, etc. So we have signed the Memorandum of Understanding of Cooperation with the Georgian Mediation Association, GMA. So we are very proud of it, and we are very glad that we have this opportunity to be one of the universities together with other higher education institutions in Georgia, and to be able to bring our input in developing this professional mediation and this system of mediation, and to bring it in line with the best practices that exist right now. So this agreement and memorandum just comprised of several topics, and it reflects on the general and common understanding to pursue our aims in promoting the promotion of the mediation system. So we have already just pinpointed some of the areas that we see are ready to be that we can work on. The first of all is that we will work with the Georgian Mediation Association in order to set up the internal documents, which are not only mandatory, but I think that one of the cornerstones of the effective mediation system. This is the Code of Ethics. Now we know that in Europe, in particular, there is a European Code of Conduct for mediators and European Code of Conduct for mediation providers, and we think that those two documents, together with the Code of Ethics of most advanced countries, for instance, the Netherlands Mediation Federation and other countries, will be very helpful in just elaborating our Georgian version, Georgian Code of Ethics, and we will work with the Mediation Association of Georgia in not only just writing it down, but also implementing it and making sure that this Code of Ethics works. And I hope that it is my understanding that as soon as we have started this job and as soon as we have elaborated this code of ethics, I think that it will be also very helpful for other countries as well. The second point is that we agreed and we are open to negotiate and further negotiate and further just fine-tune this direction is the organization of qualification improvement trainings for mediators who are registered and who will be registered in the Georgian Mediation Association's register. So we will be involved in these qualification improvement trainings, and the further nitpicks and further concrete statements and concrete measures will be known to you as soon as we have it. The areas that we will cover with GMA are the following: training, communication and negotiation skills, training on mediation models, training on mediation ethics rules, on conflict management, and preparation of a mediation agreement. So these are the topics that we think that on the initial phase we will be able to work with the GMA as regards the training, qualification training and qualification improvement trainings. We plan to, it is our, we are planning, and I hope that the COVID won't be a hindrance to this, and I wish all of you all the best, and first of all the good health, and but it's still tentative, but in September, in the late September, we are planning to organize such a training for mediators in communication and also in other communication techniques and so on. So another point is just inviting the members of association, Georgian Mediation Association, as guest speakers in our master program trainings and master program courses. I think it is very important for the students, for future master students, to gain the first-hand experience and to gain the experience directly from the active and mediators who have the understanding and who have the experience in dealing with the mediation cases. We will be inviting the association members as the speakers, as guest speakers, and in our programs. And this is also one of the areas that we see very fertile for future cooperation. Assisting the GMA in developing partnerships with international mediation associations. So I think that for not only for Georgian Mediation Association, which is also already in existence and very there is the short period that this association has been in existence gives a high promise that not only the mediation but also the Mediation Association will be very fruitful and very it will be a good case, a good showcase to offer to other countries and for our colleagues and friends. So, but in order for this to share the experience, I think that it will be helpful if we could just somehow have the memorandums, relevant memorandums, and also assisting them to become the members of various international and regional mediation associations. So if Mr. Irakli Khandashvili also already shared his contact details, but I think that signing the memorandum or just making it easier to cooperate with, first of all, with the Netherlands Mediation Federation initially, and then with other international and regional mediation associations will be very helpful. So also we have also just agreed on organizing the public meetings and activities of mediators association with the universities. Mr. Khandashvili also mentioned this direction. So it is very important to streamline this process of making the mediation institute accessible and to all the members of society. So once again, if and I hope it will be so, if there is no more pandemic, and we think that we will be able to organize these public events involving the universities, initially online, and then if it's possible, then from late September to organize these public lectures, not only online, but to just organize it as it should be. But we are just as it should be, but we are forgetting as it was, unfortunately, because of this pandemic. So another direction, the assistance in popularization of mediation as a method of dispute resolution through the public discussions and meetings. And in late July, hopefully, but maybe it will be postponed, we will be able to plan online meeting with the students using Zoom or Facebook or Google Meet or some other software or programs, and to communicate with the students and the future students as well. It was also already mentioned, but still I want to emphasize the need for not only unified, but also just harmonized assistance and harmonized cooperation in the field of mediation. In Georgia, the mediation and strengthen, not only nurturing, but the strengthening of the mediation institution is subject of very important projects, international projects, UNDP, Council of Europe, European Union, the United States Agency for Development, USAID, and many other international donor organizations have been very active in promoting the mediation through just assisting in elaboration of the newly elected law, and also in the field of assisting the mediation association for the future growth and future development. So we are also in touch with some of these international organizations, and I hope that we will be one of the leading forces together with Batumi State University and other higher education institutions, and first of all with the Georgian Mediation Association for the future success of mediation in Georgia. As for the initial topics and the goals and the deliverables, you can see on right now that I have shared. I think we still need to hear more from other partner universities. First of all, what are the plans for concept of federation? How do they see, and how do they what they expect, and how do they expect this federation to become effective in the future? And unfortunately, there is no possibility of preparing the unified concept of federation in all countries, because in Georgia we already have it. In Azerbaijan, they are more or less in the same situation. In Ukraine, it's still in the process of development. But I think that sharing not only the concepts but also the ideas will be very helpful. From our side, we are ready and to offer as much as we can, and our not only the legislation but also the some other instruments in order for other countries to make use of it. If there are some questions, and I'll be very glad to answer those questions. And thank you very much once again. This was very short just a reflection on the developments and work which for. And thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much, Dmitry.
Thank you.
Any questions to Dmitry? Otherwise, I do have some comments in general.
I have a question, one question regarding the Georgian case. Is there any the subscription fee for the universities to be the part of the mediation federation in Georgia?
Thank you, Omar, for this very interesting question. In Georgia, the members of the Mediation Federation can be only the natural persons, so physical persons. So the law prescribes that the Mediation Association is the organization composed of only mediators. So the law does not allow for an institution to become a mediator as such and a member of mediation association. So what we can do is to just sign the relevant memorandum of understanding or just the relevant instruments with the Georgian Mediation Association that we did, and we have signed the memorandum, and the field of the scope of cooperation for universities and other mediation providers and other mediation institutes is to work with the GMA, which is the legal entity established by law, but comprising only of natural persons, only of mediators, and not the IIs or some universities and so on. So, but still, there is still a very there is a room for cooperation, and that not to be able to become a member of mediation association as such for the university, it doesn't mean that we are short of weapons and we cannot cooperate from other areas and in just on the basis of agreements. Thank you once again for this question. And what's the situation in Azerbaijan?
Thank you very much. No, it's not the same. We have the similar picture, but here the individuals and organizations, they have the right to be the part of the mediation association, but there are different the fees for that. For the institution, it's very much expensive. I mean, it's over 10,000, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really remember the number, but it's really expensive. But individuals, they are also they have the right to be the part of the mediation, the council. So as an individual and as an organization, institution.
So there's a membership fee for mediators in Georgia, but once again, it's still for the mediators, and they have to pay for their professional organization.
Thank you all. Maybe looking at the time, I might give a short comment, which is also connected to the last part. Actually, I need you all in this, because what you see in all countries is that they copy. They copy exactly the situation as is in other countries. In all countries, mediation started as a practical course, something like you had in Latvia and in Spain. This basic course is all it is at this moment on skills training for people to become a mediator. And for the start, this was okay. And now this is the norm in almost all the countries. But it is quite clear that when mediation becomes more popular, this is not good enough anymore. So it only is possible because all people who became a mediator were already a lawyer or a psychologist or whatever. So they already had a very good basic education. So the aim of this project is to make it a real profession. That's completely different. I mean, can you imagine that you could become a lawyer with just a course of 2 weeks? Or you can become a psychologist with just a course of 2 weeks? This is bullshit. And this is the same in mediation. But you can see that also from the reaction from Mr. Irakli, that they are not open for this yet, but it is quite clear, and for sure in Holland, it is quite clear that now the universities are taking over as it's becoming a normal profession. The university trains lawyers, the university trains psychologists, and the universities will train mediators. This is the reality of the future. So, being a member, being the chairman for the register in Holland, we can see this at this moment happening in Holland. And this is why we want the international register, where the universities take charge, and in the end, the federations have to comply. So our federation for 3 years was fighting the universities. And now they have to give in. They now have to admit that the universities will be leading in the education. So this is the aim also of this project. Make sure that the universities are ready to train real professionals. And that means at least a 60 credit program, at least. And then connected to a good basis of bachelor. And not just a 2-week practical course, that's not enough. So the register is ready. We have a concept, a draft for the contract. I will send it to all the universities. I decided that for this group of universities in this program, there will be no direct cost for the universities. So that makes it easier for you to make it happen within the university. And let's say that it will be at least for 3 to 5 years like this. All the other universities that will participate, they will have to pay for it. So for example, universities in North Macedonia already agreed on the prices, and they will have normal subscription fees. For the universities in this program, it will be free. There are many universities already wanting to participate, also from Holland, also from Belgium. So that's very good. And what is also quite good, and maybe you can think about it, in North Macedonia, the Dutch embassy was willing to support both the universities and the educational units of the judges with money for further education of the mediators and with money for the federation. So they gave 10,000 euros for a conference of the Mediation Federation, and they gave 150,000 euros for education of the mediators. So if you are interested in going to the embassy, the Dutch embassy in your country, then we should do this together, and I'm quite sure that it will be possible to have some support on it. Yes, so please keep this in mind. So 2 things. First of all, the possibility of the embassies. Second, you will have all the material about the international register for the universities and the mediators in the beginning of next week. Any questions on this? Is it clear what I was trying to say about the education and the, so to say, conflict between the universities and the courses? In Holland, this is a very big thing because we have 32 professional organizations who bring at this moment the course on mediation. So it's quite a change. All these units are all of a sudden out of order. So it's quite a big change going on.
Mr. Jan, I wanted to add that it will be easier if you can imagine the student with at least maybe with a master degree in mediation or this short-term 60 credit certificate, and they need to go and take this 2 weeks or I don't know 3 weeks training for recognition to be the part of the mediation federation. So we are trying now. We have tried before also to have a meeting with Mr. Irakli and the federation to arrange somehow this, maybe not for this year, maybe for the next years, to have the recognition for these 60 credits or more credits. Yeah, because we in many professions we have the same. We had the same in the psychology field 10 years ago. We had psychologists with I don't know 1 month trainings, but with the diploma, bachelor's degree and master degree, you do not have to take again these 1 week training courses. But now at time in Georgia, the mediators or I don't know the students or alumni will need to have again this kind of training courses. So if we will like make recognitions, it will make easier.
So Katie, what we did, and this is actually why we started with this basic course in Latvia and in Spain. This is exactly the basic course which is given by all the federations. So if you implement this within the structure of your 60 credits, you have no problem. We only have to have our normal basic course accredited. It's part of the university program of 60 credits. And with this, you have no problem. They are always accredited. So people who now got the certificate of a fully licensed mediator from this course in Spain, in Holland, normally they would be allowed to go into the register because the course is exactly the same as the normal basic course.
I have a question. Do you mean those persons who received the mediator's certificate, or there were several certificates? So
we had 3 levels.
Yes.
And the highest level
is
the official level of the mediators. So the others just have to do a little bit more to get to the same level. But this level of this highest level was good enough for Holland to become a fully certified mediator.
Thank you.
And I'm almost 99% sure that the course, which is now official by the Georgian Federation, will be almost the same. Because all the Americans, the UK, Germany, Italy, Greece, they all have exactly the same kind of course. And this is exactly the course you had as a basic training. And this is why we incorporate it as the start of our program. But we think it should be much more. And this is why we go on with a complete master. In this way, Katie, you do not have to ask for the masters to be admitted to the register. Only the basics would be enough. Yes? Questions on this? Well, I'm going to write an article in the next 3-4 weeks about this subject. And I challenge all the universities to participate in it and bring the latest from their university, from their country, also in this same article. So if there's anyone interested in joining me in this, then please say so. And I would be very happy to do it together.
Jan, I have a question.
Oh, I thought you were going to apply for it. That's a shame.
would be really interested to be the part of it.
Thank you.
I have a question regarding the breaking the monopoly of the association or the federation. How was your example? How did you achieve to break the monopoly of the association or the federation in preparing the mediators?
Well, actually, we didn't have to do it because the government did. When the government sees mediation more and more as something really important and also in the court system, then they start putting up the demands. And then they see that there's a big difference in level of mediators, and that's not good. And then they say, okay, it's okay, but it should be a complete profession. And then the universities, if they push to the government and to the courts, then it's no problem. Then you win. The federation is just a federation, nothing more.
So this is kind of like evolution of this.
Well, for 25 years in Holland, the mediation was just a hobby of people. And now in the last years, the minister is really serious about it. The courts are really serious about it. Even the lawyers see that they cannot go around it anymore. And therefore, it's now all of a sudden a real profession. And a real profession is not trained by a 2-week course. That's not possible. And of course, the minister saw this and he said, okay, the university should also have, the only problem we had is that nobody believes that a 20-year-old person could do mediations. But now people start thinking different about this. I mean, there are 22, 23-year-old lawyers, there are 23-year-old psychologists. So why not 23-year-old mediators?
True.
And everybody will choose a mediator that will be suitable. And if you look in Spain, not age was important for the best mediator. You even saw the young people there doing quite good mediations. So now here in Holland, as I said, we have 32 institutions, organizations who bring the basic course of mediation. They all try to connect to the universities because they see that they are losing. And they're way too expensive. The basic course in Holland costs 7,000 euros, including the assessment. That's way too expensive. At a university, you can do a full year for less than 3,000. So they cannot win this.
Okay. Here now, the Mediation Council is running these training courses with the support of the state and EU money. Mm-hmm. So they have now enough means to conduct this training.
Fine.
But they're not sure how long. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
They're not sure how long they will be able to offer this for free.
Yeah.
It depends on the support from the European Union and the state budget.
Well, if you look at Romania, they trained 20,000 mediators in 2 years' time. Now, only 3 of these people are still a mediator. Can you imagine? And this is because they are trained in 2 weeks, but are not ready to do a proper mediation. It takes time, it takes effort. You cannot learn such a profession in 2 weeks. I think you all experience that it is not that easy. So a 2 weeks course is not good enough. And in many countries, you can have it even less than 2 weeks. It's not good enough. And this is what people start realizing. And this is why now all the universities come in. And the governments acknowledge this. So this is why I became the chairman of the register in Holland, because I didn't want to fight them, but I want to do it together with them. If Irakli would be open and say, okay, let's see, what is the best option? The basic course, the university training, or both? Then you could perfectly well work with the federation. You can have 2 levels of mediators. In Holland, we trained all the mayors. They're not going to be full-time mediators, of course not, but they need the mediation skills. So they take the 2-week course just to have the skills, but not to have it as a profession. All the judges did the course, not to become a mediator, but to know the skills. So the 2-week course just for the skills, and those who want to make it a real profession, they go to the master. And I hope that all the federations will see this. But I will try to put this on paper, and then you can see if there's something you as a university believe in, and you're willing to go for it or not.
Okay.
Yes?
All right.
Questions?
Thank you.
No questions. Galina, last remarks.
So Jan, I think if you summarize the results of this meeting, it will be better than we do it, because this meeting is meeting for professionals. I mean, for those who involved in federation creation and development, not in project in full. So that's why we appreciate if you do these final remarks. Thank you.
Okay. So if there are no more questions, then I think we should finish with this, yes?
Just one question regarding the website of Federation. I have a question. Is the budget allocated for the website of the Mediators Association? And if yes, what amount is allocated for it? Because as far as I know, our association already has a website. So in that case, can we allocate cost for its development instead of for the creation new website?
Once again, don't fight with the existing federation. So either do it together with them, or if there is already a federation but it is not good enough, then okay, we can try to find something else. Galina, you know all about the budget. Is there money in the budget for a website, for a federation?
Yes, money for, is there money for website?
Yes, there is the budget for website. But you know, this question is not so easy because we have 3 countries and they all have to develop the website. So it can be like one joint website or 3 separate websites, and then we have to distribute this budget. So with the website, it's not an easy question. It needs some joint discussion.
So because it was planned that each country, so at the beginning when we start this conversation of problem, when we raised the problem, is it interesting for each country? There were no federation, already existing federation. The idea was each country, each partner universities create 3 federations, one for Ukraine, for Georgia, for Azerbaijan. now you joined another federation because it's impossible to start a new one. So we should check the plan and the budget to answer it exactly. Not sure. No.
Or maybe, no, maybe we can prepare a very short questionnaire and send to the partners in order to collect their opinion on what to do with the budget, like to distribute between the countries, and then each country will decide, each university will decide how to spend it, to develop the joint website with the national association. Or... So what can we, how can we decide on this? I think we need some time to think. So, Jan, what do you think?
Give me 1 week. Give me 1 week, Salome. Then I will write how I think we should go on in developing everything for the federations. Basically, if there is a federation also supported by the government, then we should go for that federation, and we should try to see how can we help them. But one thing is really important to develop mediation in the country, and this should be the basic aim, whatever other things will happen. There should be unity in mediation in the country. Don't make several split ups in federations, in different kinds of mediation groups or whatever. No, it's already difficult enough to bring a completely new profession in a country. So there must be unity. And use your mediation skills. And I think, Salome, you are a fully certified mediator. So use your mediation skills to bring all people together on mediation in the country. That's really important. Yes?
Yes.
Enough for today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, that was a very busy meeting. We discussed 2 issues, project management issues and also mediation federation.
Okay.
So we will prepare the protocol and we will send it to all partners. And also please remember what we discussed before about the progress report. If you would like to read the progress report and to add something, then please visit the Google Drive and make corrections. But we will, I think right now we will do a very short protocol and send the letter to all the partners.
Okay. Great.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining the meeting.
Thanks to all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, Jan, so you will share the recording of this into Google Drive.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to look it back if I can share it.
I think we will cut it, and some parts can be used for different reasons. Yeah.
Perfect. I will. Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.